I am streaming again. But instead of doing any quote-unquote proper work, I'm just going to spend the day kind of messing around a little bit. I have an idea for just kind of doing some animation stuff and just fiddling around with that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just kind of want to goof off today. There is actually, before I get into that, there is a quick test, well, a couple quick tests I want to run. I use the word tests loosely here, of course. I have, let's see here. Let's see. I have set up alerts, and I think they should work okay. I'm just curious. Huh. Oh, they do work. It's just delayed a little bit. So I sent a test. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of working. Little Twitch alerts thing. Should be fine. Let me also go just making sure things are going to work okay. Let me go here. I'm just learning just learning the tools a little bit. No big deal, really. Okay, good. That's that. I'm gonna just assume that that'll work fine. There's another little thing I did want to check, and that was going to be actually a little different. I'm going to go over here and just go back to this. This one, I mean. Let's see here. Okay. All right, I just I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying an extension. I just wanted to see how this stuff works a little bit. Maybe it doesn't work so well. That's fine. Not a big deal. These are things that I just learn over time, you know. I'm gonna try one more thing though. Just give me 1 second here. Well, okay. Seems like it's not totally working the way I expected, but that's just gonna have to be okay. Oh, maybe I can do it. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna just focus up and just get rid of that. Oh, maybe, sorry, let me do one more thing. I lied. Let's do this. Oh, it does. Okay, it kind of works. Oop, gotta mute myself here. Okay. I forgot to put the overlay for this particular extension on, which is my bad, but it kind of works, so good to know. For the time being, I'm just going to ignore that and switch my focus back to let's go back to this. Okay. All right, so that seems reasonably good. So today I had this idea to kind of just mess around with SVG Animations and seeing if I could turn that into like a set of Gifs or something like that, so I could use it for, say, Twitch overlay, or for what's it called, like a be right back kind of screen transition thing, whatever it's called. So I'm gonna kind of just goof around with that. I had this other little program I was messing around with too. It deals with taking screenshots from YouTube videos at certain times and converts it to SVG and blah 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 blah. I don't actually want to work on that right now, so I'm gonna make a new design folder called AJTV, I guess. We'll start with that, and we'll do a good old copy paste here. Oh, that's the wrong name, but that's fine. Okay, so set up the depths here. Okay. Junk for my streams, sure. AJTV. Yeah. Scratch. Let's go ahead and start things up here. Oop. Oop, not what I meant to do. I don't like when it's indented like that. Okay. Clojure. Tangle into source. HATV. What do I want to call it? Main.clj. Do I want to make it yeah, you know what, let's just leave it as just a Clojure app. Let's not bring in Clojure script at all, so we can leave it like this. This is pretty good. Hiccup for transforming data structures into XML, which it will be good because I'm going to be using SVG stuff. Hickory is actually a library I was trying the other day that can parse XML strings into hiccup, so you get I have both directions of transformations there, and then stylo is my SVG wrapper library, at least the work in progress of it, and I'm just gonna try establish a workflow that makes it a little bit of sense. So how do I want to do that? Let's just do start there, create the directory. If I refresh this, I can go into the new folder here, and what I want to do here actually is well, first off, let's go ahead and I can start a REPL here. Just give it a second. This might break because error. Yeah, I have the wrong file path for the stylo library. That's okay. Let's get rid of that. We can actually just go up another level like this. So yes, that should work just fine. Now save that and let's try it again. Cider jack in. That should now work, I do believe. All right, we're in the money. Okay, so I'm gonna close that there. Okay, let's go. Of course, I should start with a namespace declaration. That's always a good idea. Namespace ajtv.main, right? Require, and let's basically require everything at this time. Let's do stylo.svg as svg, hiccup.core refer HTML. This should be the only function I need from that one. Hickory.core as hickory should be good, and Clojure.string as s I think is going to be safe. That should be fine. I think we'll be good with that. Okay, save this. Let's just double check. Source HATV list main.cljs or clj. Good. Oh wait, cd. Okay. All right. Now what I want to do, if I go here and do spit index.html, let's just fill it with nothing. Hello, like that. Okay, now if I refresh this, okay, so the index works. If I go here and do, I think this is a Node.js thing that I have installed still. So the problem with, okay, that looks good. If I oops. Hello again. Oh, I don't need to save that. I mean to spit that. change detected. I thought this would have refreshed. Huh. Apparently not. Why is that? So it's detecting the changes. Hello again, but it's not refreshing the browser. That's a little annoying. Well, okay. Why would that be? Why would that be? Let's have a look. Maybe oops. Let's do okay, so this doesn't exist, but instead of spitting to index, okay, so there's no script tag being injected. Oh, it might actually be because this is not valid HTML up front here. If I were to do let's see. There's oops, stylo.builder as B. Got to clean up a few things, but that's okay. Okay, if I do Clojure.REPL/source of B/MD to HTML page, maybe. Of course, I don't have to wrap it in a function call. There we go. Okay, so here I can make a little cheater function. Well, cheater. Let's just get right into structuring this a little bit nicer. Util. Let's define, what would I call it? Oh, hiccup.page HTML5, eh? Huh, okay. Well, basically I'm going to copy this little thing here. What should I call it? Page, sure. Page will take and content, and we can paste this. Okay, so what it doesn't have is this hiccup business here. Body main. Let's just get rid of this main here, and we'll just put content like this. I may have broken the formatting here. But that's okay, it's a starting point. Yeah, instead of this, we just do content. Okay. That's fine, and then string replace alt tags with new line characters just to make it a little more readable. Is that gonna work? Discern title. Oh yeah, title. Let's just comment that out from here. Mu doesn't exist. Right here we want to do silo dot style.mu as mu. Okay, that should maybe work here. Whoops. Messy. Okay, save this. See if this is good now. Okay, so page kind of works anyway. So let's do page with p high like this. Whoa, okay, it does spit out some HTML. So now if I do HTML, instead of just a paragraph, let's also wrap that in the page call. Oops, what did I do now? Oh yeah, I have to spit that, of course. Oh, also, wait a second. Does page already call? Does that already? Yeah, it does turn it into HTML already, so is that smart? I don't think so. I don't know. But let's spit into ajtv.html page p high. Okay. Let's refresh this. Let's see now. Okay, so now there is code injected, so let's try this. Ah, there we go. Okay. So now we have a workflow, kind of, where I can just spit data into the file, and it will indeed the live server Node.js thing I've got running here in my terminal will update my browser to show the change. So that's all pretty good as a quick approach to things. I'm pretty okay with that. So let's test it out for a minute by doing spit into ajtv.html page of, let's do, okay, let's go here and do svg/svg, and we will draw in 300 by 300 at a scale of 1 svg/circle with a radius of 20. Okay, that does work. So let's go. Let's do this now. Okay, so inside here, let's just thread svg/circle radius 20 through the transformations. svg/translate 150, 150. Oh, it's also thread last. svg/color blue. Oop, a little messy, but okay, there we go. Things are kind of working. That's nice. Let's do one more little test here. We'll do, instead of blue, I want to do svg/style element, and instead of passing just the color, I have to pass in this map. Let's intentionally break that so that we can hit enter. Okay, so fill lime green, I think that's a valid name, and stroke green. Missed one. Okay, that works. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So now I'm gonna take a moment. I'll be right back. In fact, let me do which one? Let's see if this is anything. Cool, kinda. Zoom that in, be right back. It's true, I won't be long. I promise. ASF, that's nothing. ASDF is nothing, but I use it a all the time. And we're back in business. Oh, excuse me, back in business. Okay. Alright. Hope everyone's doing okay today, by the way. Anyone who's tuned in now or maybe watching this in the future. Just hope you're having a good time. Looking out my window right now, it's raining out there. A little bit of a disappointment. I mean, I love the rain. It's really cozy, right? But I wanted to go on a run this morning and it was raining all morning, so I technically could have run in the rain, but that's not always enjoyable, so I didn't. Blah blah blah. What am I trying to achieve? That's my initial question to myself. I'm actually realizing let me think about my goals here. Okay, so what I want to do is make a bit of a setup here. It's not actually going to run in the browser, or it doesn't need to, but it's going to kind of follow. This is the general idea. Animations. Basically, use browser to visualize some frames of the animation. Export, save each frame of a calculated animation as SVG. For each SVG, convert to PNG, which is the current trickiest bit. So what I'm actually going to do before so for each SVG convert to PNG, and then stitch or create video file from PNG sequence and or Gifs. Okay, so where I can start, the assumptions I have are kind of like this. This one here, this will use FFmpeg. Assume this is fairly easy. Okay, so this step, use something, use browser, maybe, or perhaps see if image magic will convert to PNG. Actually, that one I can try. Let's go here, let's pop a new tab. Let me go ahead and do, what should I do? I know. I'm going to take this SVG here. Okay, that. I'm going to def it for a minute. Def A is this thing. Okay, so A is that SVG structure. If I now do def B is HTML of A. B is an SVG string. Good. Now if I spit into httv.svg file, let's actually spit into output slash, and we'll make, if I go cd design HATV, make dir output There we go. Okay, so spit this into this file, the string B. I should have list ajtv.svg. Okay, if I go here for just a moment, let me just check. Let's refresh this. Output ajtv. Okay, so that's an SVG in the browser that works. Okay, so what I just want to do here is try the magic library, which I do believe I can take. I think all I have to do is take an input image and do that, but I don't know if that'll actually. Whoa, man. Okay, I'm actually a little surprised, but that worked. Okay, so that means, okay, that makes this step pretty easy as well. Use image magic. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to pull in here, and that is Clojure core shell, I think it is. I forget. Here, Clojure.java shell only shell. This is a nice way to write that. Let's do Clojure.java.shell. I guess I don't need the only thing. I can just do this, refer shell. And this here is a nice tool that lets me run, it basically lets me run shell commands through my program. So it kind of, I believe it uses futures, so it like will spawn a new process, it'll run the stuff. Or maybe it doesn't use futures, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. For simple little things that don't have to be fast per se, it works just fine to just shell out to a process, run something, and then get the output back into the program. So that should actually work. Okay, so I don't even technically need to like run it. It's like I want the side effect of the image magic shell and the FFmpeg thing. So it's basically just running commands after I've manipulated, or after I've created data in Clojure, spit it out to some file, and then I just want to do a few things on those files. So I almost don't need them. I just want to kind of start it in Clojure, and I don't really need to care. So this here, for example, this magic thing doesn't have any standard output, so it'll just return nil. I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm not making any sense. Okay, but so that does cover these two things here. I can use image magic and FFmpeg. Let's load this namespace to see. Yep, shell should work. So if I shell echo hi, it returns a map. Exit status 0 is things work correctly. Out is what this command printed to the standard output, which in this case is echo hi, hi, new line. Makes sense. And then error here. So that this can be used to string together all kinds of ridiculous things, and you can use Clojure or some other like Clojure-like environment to script things. It's pretty cool. I think there are more powerful abstractions instead of shell, like other libraries that are pretty popular. But for stuff like this, I don't need to bring in anything, and this lets me build stuff just fine, at least for now. So I haven't needed to look into crazier stuff yet. So here, these two things, this is just manual work here. Use a browser to visualize some frames. And here, save each frame of a calculated animation as SVG. So what do I mean by that? I mean, something kind of like this. If, so A is this SVG with the radius of 20. Let's call that frame 1. Frame 2 would be, say, radius at 19. So you could calculate any number of frames, any particular SVG output, save them all to a sequence, and then convert them all to PNG. So what's a good kind of test here? Let's do let's see. Yeah, let's use a circle as a simple kind of test case here. So we've got util is just this page thing. It's nice and simple. Let's this is called error. Why is it called error? Let's what is this? Let's close that. Okay. Oh, I think it's kind of treating these as links because it's yeah, okay. That's just goofy. Okay, let's go call this title AJTV scratch pad. Save that. Do that. If I now call there we go. There's no error there anymore. That's good. Okay, so if anyone is, by the way, anyone watching, if you have any questions or want to just chat, go right ahead, talk in the chat. I'm not scared. I like to engage and answer questions or just talk about, you know, little projects you're working on, anything like that. So, you know, go right ahead. If you're just watching and don't like engaging too, that's also completely fine. But don't be shy. It's always fun to chat. There we go. So let's use the circle as a nice test case. So what we're going to do, what I want to do is start with a circle that's a radius of 1 pixel, and I want to animate from 1 to say 30 or something like that. So we'll begin by generating, oh, this is also not necessary. Let's go split this and we'll do images. That's good. Okay, so here what I can do is define SVG to PNG, but with an exclamation, because it's doing this in the, like, it's doing it to file names. So what this means, what I'm gonna do is run a shell script that runs magic. Let's do, let's write a little note here. You can convert SVG files to PNG files. I also wonder, let me, animated SVG example. This is a tangent thought for a minute. I'm gonna try find a, is this actually an image, or is this view, inspect this element? It's just a JPEG. That okay. Is this gonna actually have an SVG on it? I hope. That'd be nice. Okay, enough of that. I just want a very simple SVG animation. Oh, I know. Let's go here and just use the SVG animate. No. What is happening? Searching, geez. Okay. No, not what I meant. There was an example, this one here. This, it's actually Mozilla's, okay. Let's go inspect this element. It should be, yes it is. So if I copy inner here, let's open up a scrap or a new file, output / anim.svg, paste that, save that. That should be a valid SVG file. Let's just kind of clean this up just a smidge. Save that, kill that, close that, list this, anim.svg. Let's try magic anim into anim.gif. Let's see if that is smart enough to do anything. Now if I go here, refresh this, no. Which is fine. I'm not that surprised. Right, so here, right, there's a few ways in which you can think about this animation with SVG sort of stuff, and I'm doing it the kind of brute force way. I'm actually calculating each frame on like my end on through Clojure, spitting those all out to SVG files, converting every single frame to PNG, and then mushing it back together with FFmpeg. SVG itself has these animate features, but that's not like a video or anything. It's just computing the path changes over time directly in your browser. And the way to save that would be to set up the SVG, get it going, and record your screen, or run a headless browser instance and record frames out that way. So that's a pretty heavy approach. Either way, it's not perfect, really, but better than nothing. So I'm going to just try my way for kicks. So to do this, let's make this function work just fine. We'll do this. Let's do let SVG no, let's do this. Let name be first of string split the string fname with the match of dot character, split on those, and get first, and that gives you the name of the file. And oops, oh, let's make another little utility here in a minute. Okay, so we have the name. Let's do, so the file name that you want to convert is the SVG. The name of the output file you want is going to be PNG name, which will just be string name with PNG like this. That's PNG name. And what you're going to do is very simple. You're going to do two things actually. The first thing you're going to do is run the shell command magic fname PNG name, and that will output a file in the same directory with the PNG extension instead, converted by ImageMagick. And then actually we're going to delete fname. The reason is because I can. I don't need to clutter the output space with all kinds of, the SVG is just kind of an intermediate file anyway, so I can delete it, but I don't have this function, so I'm going to make it. So I can just do this, define delete. It's a little messy, but it does work. So if I do fname, all I have to run is shell remove fname, and that's the whole function. Okay, so with that, so I can actually test that that works. Let's do here, let's call, let's list these out here. What I want to do, I'm going to delete anim.gif as an example just to check that it's working. Delete, and the file is in the output folder, output/anim.gif. So there's almost certainly better ways to do this, like with proper file IO and stuff, but this works for simple scripting stuff that I'm doing anyway. So list that. Okay, there we see that it did in fact delete the GIF file. If I run this again, there's an error because no such file exists, which is nice to know that it does report errors. There we go. No error reported means it's successfully deleted. We're in the money. So let me actually also remove aj.tv PNG because I can use the SVG to test this out. Let's copy that one into a test.svg. And what I can do is use this. I can check that this function will actually do what I expect. There's also one other thing I can do is actually just make it return PNG name. So this is maybe a little hard to follow. So what's happening, this is a side effecty function. It runs a shell command magic, and it takes whatever SVG file name you've given it and converts it to a PNG it runs that in a process. Once that process is done, it then runs the delete process, which is a remove command, to the SVG file, and then it prints into the REPL. It returns the string that is the PNG name, which will be the file remaining. So it has the final effect of converting. It takes an SVG image and just converts it to a PNG with no additional files existing in your file structure after. And in the REPL, it just prints off that name, because I could chain that into other side effecting functions that then take that PNG file and do some transformation with it. So that's why this is useful to have as an output, because if I make another file, or if I make another function that takes a file name input, then I can kind of just smush them together. So to test this, let's go ahead and do SVG to PNG with the file output / ajtv.svg. So if this works, I'll expect. So right now, before I run it, I have test SVG and ajtv svg. Whoops. They're both test files. I'm just horrible at naming things. So let's actually run it on the test here. Okay, output / test.png. If I list, test has turned into a test.png, and let's go over here and just have a look at what that actually is, and it's a PNG image of the circle. Nice. So I have a function that effectively will convert SVG into PNG, which is really nice. So what I can do, well now what do I want to do? Now, right, let's actually, so I'm going to go put a function here to find SVG, and what this is going to do is save an SVG to a file. So what I need there is the file name and content, right? Does that make sense? I believe it does. So I can do this here, fname. And content. So here what I do is actually just a simple spit into file name running HTML over content. I believe that should work just fine. But now I have a new thought popping into my brain. If I copy ajtv.html into output / test.html to the output list. Okay. If I run magic on test.html to test.png, wow, okay. Huh. So it looks as if there is a mechanism in ImageMagick for converting HTML into images, but there's maybe something going wrong with that. I mean, that's okay. It's not a big deal, really. Well, that's I'm not going to explore that further right now. Let's remove anything that's .html. Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. The reason I was just wondering about that is because I could potentially, if I can convert a nicely formed HTML file into a PNG, I could actually use CSS trickery and fonts and stuff like that to make animations frames with more than just SVG, which might be cool, but I don't need to worry about that right now, because all I want to do is get this bit working here. So let's think about this. Let's see if this works. I think it should. So if I run, let's define, wait, what is A? A is a circle, still, good. So if I do SVG exclamation point, and I call the file name output slash, okay, remove hatv.svg, remove test.png. The output folder is empty. If I save this SVG to output, let's call it test.svg. That's the file name, and the content is A. Perfect. Okay. So what I can do now is make this function return the file name, and I can then make a function here, png, and all it needs to take is fname and content. Yes, okay. So what this will do is run, I'll do a thread first, and I can run SVG on, okay, wait a second. What's a smart approach here? Should it take name or file name? See, that's kind of the thing in my brain I'm wondering about. See, the file extensions are a little bit of a trick, right? Because you can have an incorrect extension. Like I could just well, let me do this. Let name be first s split maybe I should turn that into a little utility here. Name's not a function, is it? Name. It is. Get name, sure, that's good enough. Fname, all it is gonna be is first of s/split. Oh, this is, there's stuff that, there are assumptions I'm making because I know that I'm just moving files around in my own output folder, but this could actually get pretty messy if I feed into it like poorly formed, or if I feed into it valid file names in terms of the OS allowing them, but them being not what I expect in the function, it could easily just mangle file names. So it's not safe, but you know what, let's actually call it, let's just call this drop extension, right? So that can actually be, that's now perfectly fine because the name of the function says what it actually is doing. It's just dropping the extension. Bit of a cheat maybe, but it is more accurate now, which is a good thing. So if I do that, let's just test it with the string here. Drop extension. Oh, of course, I need to actually split the string. There we go. And a better way to do this is actually just drop last, right? It should do the same. Oh, and then I can actually do apply string to that, but that's also not correct. It's not quite correct. So it looks correct here, but if I have, for example, .svg.temp, some weird file name like that, it drops the .svg there. So what I actually need to do is apply string to interleave a period with that list. I think that should work. And I do wonder if this is maybe now getting a little ridiculous. But let's see. Not correct at all. Okay, interesting. So interleave is not right. Interpose, is that yeah, interpose is what I meant. Let's try that. Okay, drop extension. Okay, that seems okay. Let's try just one more weird looking thing. Let's do out.put/test.svg.temp, out.put/test.svg. Okay, that looks reasonable to me. Only problem is, of course, if I have a valid file that's just called that's called test without anything, this is now wrong. But we're gonna be happy enough with it as it is for now because I don't plan on making those kinds of file names. So it's not perfect, but it's reasonable. So using that, I can go over here and call png name. I can run drop extension on file name, and that should give me the same result here. Should be no issues. And if I go here now, name can be drop extension of fname. Yeah, that's good enough. And here, let's do SVG name is just string name.svg, and png name is the same kind of idea, png. So with those, I should be able to build out a valid approach here. Although I don't, technically fname should already be png name. Let's just go like that. Okay, let's build it out. Let's SVG with SVG name and content. That will produce an SVG and give back a file name, which we can then pass into the function SVG to PNG, which will give us a PNG name as output, but that's all we need. Okay. So there's some things I might want to change with that, but let's give it a shot. Let's remove test.svg. What I want is to see png test.png show up. No. Okay, well, be back in just a second. I have to go to the washroom, and I'll solve this when I get back. Righto. What went wrong here? Oh. Okay. Is this, did I delete? Okay, no, we're good. We're good there. Okay. Clear CD output. Let's get back into the right folder here. Let's try this again with output slash. Okay, null pointer, so something's still going wrong here. Well, okay, let's have a look. A is correct. If I do, instead of PNG, if I run this same sort of thing with SVG, output slash test dot SVG. Okay. Oh, wait a second, I shouldn't erase that. I'm gonna test one little chunk of this at a time. Oh, of course, wait, why? Oh, did I not, maybe I didn't, maybe this is why. Let's try this again. Ah, okay. This should maybe now work. Let's go call PNG. Ah, there we go. That worked. Except for that problem. Of course, I'm still messing up here. So the PNG name is not just this, it's string drop extension file name with .png. There. Now if I run this function, I should see a PNG file here, list PNG. And if I open test.png, it should open a PNG for me. Nice. Okay, well, that's good news. One thing I do need to see, oh, this won't load. Let me go here, do SVG. If I open up here, test.svg, inspect this element, there is background blue. So I wonder if there's like a image magic let's see here if there's anything that shows up. SVG to PNG with image magic. Convert, yep. Densities, one thing, that's fine. Convert to that. Oh, cool, you can programmatically call Inkscape as well. That's good to know. Good to know. So I'm just preemptively thinking about here, this is what I'm looking for. Use background none. Okay. That is important to know because I don't want white. I want alpha. Because I believe you can make alpha Gifs, I think. There is certainly a way to do it. I just have to remember how it's done. So let me add that into my what am I looking for here? Here. Okay. Where should I add that? Between these probably. That'd be my guess. So that's gonna be background none. Let's see if that works. So let me do PNG. I'm lazy. I'm not going to type it all out. I'm going to just use this. Okay. If I open that, didn't appear to work. It did not appear to work. Let's see. Here. Yeah, see, I want this to be not white. Maybe it's, well, let's mess around with this a little bit here. Let's make an SVG output. Let's do magic test.svg background none. Not sure, I don't think this will work, but I'll try that. Unable to open blah blah blah. Yes, yes. Okay, that didn't make a difference. Thought that might have worked. Well, okay, let's try. I do have Inkscape installed, so let's try this. Let's try that. Let's do Inkscape test.svg export file test.png. Command not found Inkscape. Huh, well, okay. That changes my plan of attack a little bit. Image magic SVG to PNG with alpha. Let's see. Ugh. Okay. This is an annoying thing I found the other day. All of the links to the Image Magic discussion boards no longer are linking you to the topic. They're just linking you to the home page of the legacy boards. So I can't find anything through that. So I have to do something like this. And then it takes me to weird places here. Let's see if let's see if this tells me anything useful. Convert canvas none. Well, let's go back to the drawing board with this one. Let's try some weird stuff. Alpha, transparent, test.png. Okay. No. I think that is transparent now, but that's not what there's just nothing there. Let's try alpha. Active. I already forget the options. Alpha on. Ah, nope. That's still a white background. Alpha background, maybe. Let's try that. Let's have a look at this. Nope, not yet. Yeah, that's well, okay, we're getting closer, but we're not quite there yet. That's the nature of these little weird things going on. Let's try a color as the background. Okay, that didn't do anything. Let's see. Copy. Oh, weird. That's weird. Why is it like that? If I open test.png, yeah, that's not helpful to me. That's nothing. Okay. That shouldn't be anything either. Yeah, that's nothing. Oh boy. Let's try. So the magic command recognizes these options. Let's click on it and read about it instead of guessing. Let's try set, alpha set. I don't believe that will work. It doesn't appear to. Open test.png. Oh man, it's a shame. I was really close to cracking the case on this one. Let's, you know what, for time being, I'm gonna go ahead and just assume it's fine. This, I'll just get rid of it. Okay. Because maybe I can work on that after the fact as well. That's no big deal. Right, so I have a pipeline where I can save a PNG. Let's also, I am going to change these to just take a name, maybe. Is that smart to do it that way? You know what? Let's do this. Let's give it a name, and then SVG name is made automatically. Yeah, so PNG and SVG should just take a name, and then this here function should take a file name. So how this will work, here I have to construct the file name, right, which is going to be the name, string name SVG for sure. So it spits the file name out to the SVG, gives back the file name, because that gets passed into this. This is a little confusing. Let's put these in the order in which they actually do get used as well. So, okay, so an SVG file is nice and easy. I can generate it directly from Clojure using spit and the hiccup HTML thing. It's just a string that goes. I'm using ImageMagick as a separate process to convert that SVG file to a PNG file. So I want to give it a file name, which is going to be an SVG extension. It's going to run its stuff. It's going to delete that file name, and it's going to give me, it's just going to return PNG name is fine. It doesn't need to return anything technically, because here I have a name which I no longer need. I actually can just do this. Yes. Okay, let's check my logic here. This can just be name. Alright, let's see if that works. Let's do remove test. Okay, there's no files in the output. Let's go png output slash test is the name and a dot png. Oops. I broke it, and that is because whoa, this is weird. Oh geez, this is a horrible mess. Why did that compile? Must have messed something up. There we go, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Okay, cd output, remove dot. Okay, good. Let's just double check this. Okay. Alright. Weesh, what a mess. Okay, test.png is a file that exists and looks like that. Okay, we're in the money. So now what I want to do is make a little test thing here. Here, what I'm going to do is create okay. What I want to do is make a little, let's do anim, taking no arguments. We're just going to build it manually here. We're going to define let f be partial wait, what's the right output here? Let's let f be, let's just do it this way. It's a function of R, and it builds for me svg slash svg, svg slash translate. We're going to hard code some values in here. It's just going to be 200 by 200, scale size of 1. We're going to translate 100, 100. And we're going to translate what? Actually, let me rewrite it this way. We'll do thread last svg slash circle, and this is where the function, this is where the R comes in. Yes, because R is going to be the parameter that we vary for the animation. So SVG translate 100, because that's the center of the SVG element there, and that's it, just a translated circle. Okay, that should be good. So if we let f be that, then what I can do is for range is this how I want to do it? Yeah, we'll just do it. We're just gonna start with a short range here. We'll do for frame range 0 to 5. So there'll only be 5 files to start with. What we're doing here is we're gonna run the function. We're gonna run PNG on the file name string output slash, and then here we're gonna do, I always forget this, what is it? It's format I think that's it. Oh wow, I guessed it right. Cool. Okay, so it's going to be format %03D of frame. That will be the file name, just the frame number should be fine. And the content of that PNG is going to be f of 1 as the difference of the range of the frame. I don't know if what I said made sense, but we'll try it. And what we're gonna just run it and see what happens. Anim. Okay, so it looks like it worked. Okay, so let's oops. Let's redefine this to be from 10 to 25 and run anim again. Oh, this was a mistake. Oh, no. I'm doing this wrong a little bit. Let's go range 0 to 10. So there's 10 frames. But I do want, let's just make the radius, we'll offset the radius size a little bit here. So frame 0, it's just going to be frame 0 plus an offset of 15. Should work. And if I now run anim, I should get 0 through 9 frames. And if I open, let's open 009.png. Oh, why is that the case? Oh, right, I forgot. I do have to, if I go to I need to actually, I didn't style the element, which is my mistake. Which is a mistake I've made. That is a mistake I've made. Let's do hot pink. Fill hot pink, stroke, pink. Is that going to do it? Oh, I have something wrong here. Yes, okay. So this is, let's run this. And let's check this. Okay. A little ugly, but hey, what you gonna do? Let's try frame 1. Okay, it is smaller, so things are working in the right direction. So now what I want to do is figure out how to use FFmpeg to make a GIF out of a PNG sequence. Because once I can do that, I've basically got the pipeline kind of worked out, and then it's just a matter of getting creative with the kind of SVGs I generate, which is nice. It turns out I'm actually running out of time a little bit here. That's okay. Oh, maybe I can do it. Maybe I don't need FFmpeg. Huh. Let's try this. I'm wondering if maybe ImageMagick can do it too, in which case I could use only ImageMagick for everything, which would be kind of cool. Let's see if it works. Okay, there is a GIF output, so let's go to that file. What? It worked. It's very ugly, but it worked. That is fantastic. Okay. Surely there are different. Let me actually see. Let's do a video. Let's maybe not do a GIF right away. ImageMagick, turn PNG sequence into GIF. Maybe I will do a GIF. Let's see if this works. Creating animated GIFs with ImageMagick. Yes, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I know I can use FFmpeg to make a GIF. I also can use FFmpeg to make an actual, like a WebM or a WebP or whatever it is for better animations. But I am going to try this as well. So let's, a little bit gross here. Okay, let's try Magic. No delay, just for quick. Let's do loop 0, dispose previous, wildcard PNG, and output2.gif. See if that works. Okay, so there is output 2, so let's go forward here. We've got output from FFmpeg and output 2. Oh, interesting. It's slower. And it Okay, so they both work. What should I do next? Let's have a look at let's get a little more intelligent about the process I'm using here. The basics. Okay, I also don't really need this anymore. Okay, what I'm gonna do before I get too far ahead of myself here is go ahead and do here, if I do, split images, video, I guess. I can use FFmpeg for, well, let's just, okay, I'm going to make a decision here. I'm going to use FFmpeg because it lets me, with very similar shell calls, it lets me output a GIF or it lets me output some kind of video. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that's a little bit better. So if I do that, okay. Now what I want to do is create I do want to make, let's go ahead and make the rest of this, let's go range 100. No, let's actually go range 200 here. And no, let's actually go 199. Let's just do this. Range 1 to 200. And instead of this, I can just make the function, I can make the radius just be the frame number directly up until 100. Then once it's over 100, then I want it to go back down. So let's see. Just doing things in a sort of naive way here. Let's do if frame is less than 101, then if frame is less than 101, then the radius is equal to the frame. If it's greater than 101, it's going to be equal to frame minus 100, right? No. No, what, am I being silly? 200 minus frame, yeah. Right, because so that means when it's at 101, if I do this calculation, I get 200 minus 101 is 99. Then let's say frame 150, I get 200 minus frame 150 gets me 50, and then I go all the way up to frame 200 and I get 0, which is going to be, I think that will nicely bounce the thing. think I'm thinking about it correctly, but we'll find out in a little moment. Okay, so let me go here. Yeah, okay, so what I can do is run anim. It'll take a minute because it's generating now 200 frames. I should also make it not print the output count like that, or sequence I mean. And now I should run this. Cool. Oh, little glitches at the end there. Not sure why that is. I wonder if that's I should make this minus 201, shouldn't I? Let's just try this one more time. Make an animation. Wait till that finishes. Exists, overwrite, yes. Let's refresh this. Still a little visual glitch there. Not certain if that's because it's the frame. There's that weird bubble at the end there. But what I could do WebM. Oh, it actually did output a WebM. Let's see if that's not what I need. WebM. The file is corrupt. Huh, well, that didn't work. Okay. Let's try, is WebP a thing? Let's find out. I'm really just messing around. I don't know what I'm doing. That's okay though. Let's try WebP. Hey, wow, that actually worked. So if this has the same visual glitch, it does not. It also doesn't loop by default. I think that's probably maybe because it's not like wrapped in anything. Let's inspect this image. Can I put it in a video tag? Not really. I don't know what I'm doing. That doesn't matter. Okay. So there's a lot of FFmpeg file tweak or like property tweaking I can do here. Because, well, this also only goes to like the naming scheme I've got technically only goes up to 1,000 total frames, right? So that would be that's not what I want. Float, right? That's not a lot of video at 60 frames a second, right? It's 16 seconds, if I'm doing that right. Yeah, 16 seconds times 60 frames a second, right? 16 times 60, yeah. That's not a ton of frames, so let's assume that I would want to make up to what, 5 minutes? So 5 times 60 seconds is 300 seconds times 60 frames a second, right? That's 5 character naming. I can do 5 character naming, that's not a hard thing, right? If I just do this, that changes it to 5 characters. If I go here, remove PNG, and remove output, that clears the folder nicely. So I should actually make a little delete wait a second, I should be able to do I'm gonna test something for a second here. If I make the step size of this 2, I reduce the frame count and I increase the speed of the whole thing. If I do anim, it should still work. It should now have PNGs with 5, yeah. Technically the frame naming is incorrect, but I'm okay with that. Let's make a GIF just for fun. Oh, this won't do anything. That's a mistake of mine. Let's do output as a GIF. Has to be 5 here, and now that should work. And now what I want to do is actually run, if I do delete, and I run the string output / star.png, error, no such file or directory. Huh, really? Huh, that's a little strange. I suppose, I can't, well, okay, output, GIF, let's close this. Something went wrong here, output.gif is broken, huh. It's weird. Oh. Yes, overwrite it, please. Huh, strange. Okay, well, that's fine. Sort that out later. That's that. If I do cd, if I do remove output / star, so that does work. Huh. I'm a little confused why that function, or why rm this works when I do it in my terminal, but if I call it as a shell process here, it doesn't work. It might be I don't know why it might be. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, well, let's try delete output / star. Let's delete everything there. Okay, that errors as well. Okay, I thought that the delete function would work as I've written it, but it's not, so that's okay. It only seems to be working on single file arguments, not on wildcard things. Why that is, I don't know. But I suppose that can be fine. Let's try this animation again one more time. I should also okay, let's run that. This should just have nil here, so it doesn't print everything out. Let's overwrite, yes. This should work now. Yeah, okay. Good. We have stuff kind of working, which is nice. So now, can I do something cool? That is my question. Let me think for just a second here. Okay. I don't have a ton of time left. I also realized I forgot to include one. I do want to do forge. So that means I have to sysman restart. But that's okay. Not a big deal. Stylo. I don't think I need builder, technically. So why did I copy that? That's silly of me. Oops. Things are going wild. Things are going wrong. Okay, let's do stylo dot nope forge dot proto as f. Okay, good. Let's go here. Sysman restart. Okay. Just gonna wait for that. Be back in a second. Okay, let's see if that loads. Okay. Okay. things are working REPL side. Okay, so what I should be able to do make let's make a function here. Model. It takes a variable t, which will be time, which will actually be frames. Let's do it like this instead. Frame. No, do we want to do it that way? I think I do want to do it that way. Yeah, let's do it like that. And what I'm going to do is construct, let's do a let first here. Let's see. All I want to do is create right, SVG/SVG. It's let's make it 500 by 500, scale 1. We'll start with that. Now in here, right away, what I want to do is create. Well, let's actually do it in the let here. Let the object be the thread first of f/regular polygon points of radius. What's a good radius? 10 and 6 sides. So that gets turned into f/polygon, which gets extruded by some value. That's really all I need. And I can actually just make it a function the quick way, right? So object is a function of the extrude height, and that extrude height I'm just gonna make, let's say, 1/10 of the frame count, which I'm gonna handle in the for pardon me, in the for-lit comprehension thing. So with that, I should be able to create now. Gotta just have a file open as a reference here. Dumbbells. Let's go to a part here. Let's look at tube round here. Basically, oh no, sorry, in the part view, let's have a look at this whole thing here. Kind of like this. This is all I really need to, excuse me. Right, so let's take as a thread last we have to, where is it? Here it is. Shape. Oh, I have to import that library for a minute. That'll be here. Stylo.shape as shape. It's a bad name for it actually, now that I think about it. But we'll go forward with it for the time being. We need to do shape / render curves, right? I'm looking here as here, shape / render curves. OBJ, and it's got to take something. Let's do frames divided by 10 here. Okay, so that's the object that needs to be rendered. And it needs to be rendered with, yeah, okay, let me, okay, so render this object with shape / isometric transform, because that's a cool one. And the color, let's make it slate gray. So that's that whole thing. And actually that should theoretically be enough. Does that make sense? I'm a little hesitant to say that yes, that's exactly right. I don't know. I can make this drawing 2D. That should center it, I think. Should be fine. Okay, well, let's stop guessing and close off this function. Not what I meant. These are now indented wrong. Okay. This might be wrong, but let's call model and assume we're on frame 50. Okay, it seems to render something, which is nice. So let's go SVG model 50 in, let's call it test.svg. Let's save it in the output folder. Oh, I have, of course, load file source /ajtv /main.clj. Hopefully, yeah. And now, what? Why does this not tangle? Yeah. It should have all loaded in. Oh well. Okay, not a big deal. I'll get through this. What is happening right now? Okay. Oh. That's a little silly. It might I might have a tangling issue related to this being an empty block at the moment, but that's okay for now. Is this not working? Yeah, it does work. Okay. Now let's try. Okay. Whoop. Test.svg.svg. That's my bad. Okay. Okay, now we only have the file test.svg, so let's have a look at that for a minute. Ah, there is, it's small, but there exists a shape. Let me change this to 25, output that. That's too big. Whoops. Okay, that's no big deal. Let's do scale size 1 instead, and let's go, let's only divide the frame by 5. Let's do that, and let's call it, let's call this radius 100. Let's try that. Let's do that. Okay, now we have something. And now let's redefine this animation. Right, where instead of f being this, all we have to do is let f be the model function instead. Right, so what we can do here is instead of call f, we can just call model with r, and we'll keep calling it, well, let's call it h for better sensibility. Let's try that. Let's see if it'll work first of all. No. Yeah. Maybe this nil call is incorrect as an assumption. It might not make sense. Let's try again. Oh yeah, I would have to. I forgot to wrap it in a do, I think. So it would do everything in the for, which I always mess this up, but I think for I could replace with like do seek or something like that. Don't remember. Okay, so 200 frames. Now let's just zip through this here. Let's make an output GIF. And let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it's something cool. Maybe it's not, but that's okay. This is wrong. Wow, that doesn't make any sense. It is moving, but it doesn't look right. I like it. Let's now remove output. Let's make this a WebP just for fun. The colors are correct now. Okay, cool. I'm pretty happy that there's stuff working already. That's really nice. Let's go a little bit crazy here and let's actually multiply this by 3 times the frame rate there, but let's also make this a function of, you know what, this is actually, I'm doing this in kind of a silly way here. Let's do object, let's pass in frame directly like that, right? And here I can set up the relationship to the number instead. Okay, so here I've got an extrude function. Let's also do f/rotate, and we'll rotate about, well, let's rotate about all three. No, let's just rotate about one, and we'll do let's rotate it about Z for kicks. And what we're going to do with this is do the fraction frame number divided by the total number of frames, which I've hard-coded for now as 200 frames. Actually, let's go, let's make it 1,000 frames, because that'll be fun. And this should actually be so now we're getting into, I'm getting into kind of problematic relationships here in terms of the math, but for simple stuff, we're going to take the 360 degrees times the percentage of frame completion, so that a full loop will rotate about the one axis a full 360 degrees. That should theoretically be fine. Okay, rotate, let's close that object definition there, and let's redef that like that. Okay, let's remove and remove. Okay, it's an empty thing. Okay, here I have 1,000 frames. It's a lot of frames. This might be a bit of a mistake. Let's try do. Let's just do 10 frames as a safety test here. What am I missing again? I always mess this up. I never remember how to do this. Okay, there. Oh, it also didn't make a difference. Okay, let's just forget that noise for now. I should know how to do this by now, but I always still mess it up. That's okay. Okay. If I list, okay, 10 frames. Let's remove. Okay, let's go for the gold here. This will be the last thing I try before I end the stream for the day. Should be kind of fun. Just gonna slow things down for a minute. See, this is where it does make sense to learn how to break these things out into their own processes so that it doesn't block. Because right now I can't do anything in my REPL. So there's definitely more intelligent ways to set this up. I also have the problem where this live server, which I'm not using, so I should shut down, keeps like observing changes in the whole directory structure because I'm writing 1,000 image files to it right now. So it's just gonna keep updating a couple hundred times. It's no good. So it looks like we're about halfway through, at least we're halfway through printing all of the PNGs. Oh, of course I could also solve this by, oh no, never mind. Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so we successfully created a whole bunch of frames. Let's now oh, I'm in the wrong tab. Let's go to FFmpeg. This will take a minute, but it won't be too bad. And we'll go to output.webp. It will ask, oh no, it won't ask to overwrite because I deleted the file. Almost halfway done there. There's a RGB. So here is where I can stand to gain by optimizing different approaches here. But look at that. That looks quite smooth as an animation. I'm very happy with how this looks so far. I mean, it doesn't totally make sense what I'm doing, does it? The extrude inverted itself for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that, but doesn't matter. As a proof of concept, it animated, and I'm pleased with that as a starting point. That's very good. So what did it do? That's weird to me. I'm gonna do one more thing just for kicks. Let's go remove and remove output. One more animation just for fun. Here, instead of setting extrude as a variable, I just want to have it hard coded to be 200. That should be good. Let's f/translate 0, 0, -100, so it's kind of centered. And then here, I actually want to rotate it 360 degrees for each of these. So it's a time, like it'll rotate about all three axes for some time. And we run, let's run it one more time here. I don't know why I didn't start making video here. PNG seek to video. Bad name, but it's a start. Currently taking no arguments because I just want to capture the function call here, which is ffmpeg. With these arguments, I %05d.png, but it has to actually run through output / this is bad because it's hard-coded magic, but start with it. Output.webp. Okay, there we go. We can try to run this actually. png seek to video. So that should be running the FFmpeg thing now. I think it'll work. Is that an output or an error? Oh, that's weird. Okay, so it has exit status 0, which I believe means executed successfully. Nothing in the output, but it has an error output. But this is just... it's just information. It's not an error. Unless I'm misunderstanding. Oh, maybe... no, maybe it is an error. That's fine. Yeah, there's no output. Okay, so didn't work. Not a problem. Oh, did I? Oh no, it probably did work. It probably is in the wrong folder because I forgot to put output slash here, which I should just do output slash, define that there. Okay, let's actually cd back a level here. Yeah, output.webp is in here. Remove output.webp, cd output. Let's refresh this and see what kind of stuff it looks like. Stuff's going weird. My rotate function is not correct, I guess. Or I'm misunderstanding something. Something's not right with my with these rotations here. Oh, of course. I'm being silly. Now I have to try it one more time, of course. Here I have h being dependent on things here. I actually don't need a let statement for h at all. Okay. PNG that and model that. Let's try this one final time and see what this looks like. I promise that'll be it, because I am running out of time a little bit here. Let's go like this. So I'm trying to conceptualize a way that I can sort of abstract the idea of animating certain elements based on just a frame factor. How could I like bake that into a useful abstraction so that I can do this fairly readily and make nice sort of videos of moving things, but one step at a time. One step at a time. I think I can use this to make cool sort of overlays for Twitch, so that'll be nice. I do need to figure out how to do transparency with the PNGs. That's the only thing. Or, no, I would. I could either do transparency as I generate the PNG directly, which I think is the correct thing to do, or I could figure out a way that FFmpeg, when it's compiling the PNG sequence into a video, I think I can set a certain pixel color value as transparent, and it can make a transparent video. But that might be messier, like the lines might not be as crisp due to various anti-aliasing things. So if I now do PNG seek to video, I should see an output.webp soon. Okay, let's refresh this now. All right, there we go. That makes sense to me. Thing of beauty. Okay, I'm quite pleased with myself. This was just messing around, and I've got a working pipeline for making animations with my with my model 3D modeling library. That's really nice. I'm very happy with that. What does this look like if I make it a GIF? I keep saying that this is the last thing I do, and I just keep having these little ideas that I want to keep trying. Whoops. Let's have a look. Ooh, see, that's super weird. The color's wrong, but it animates nicely. Kind of looks cool even. You probably can't really see that on the capture all that well at all. It's like really yellow, so there's some probably color space conversion issues or something like that. I don't know, it's very strange. Or it's related to like the difference between frames. Because it's thin lines, it does some kind of dithering across time, maybe, and so you end up with weird colors. I don't know. Because the colors are more correct when lines are close to over. No, I have no idea. It's just a bizarre thing. Okay, for real now, this is going to be it for me for the day. Nice quiet stream on my end, actually. If anyone's watching this after the fact, I want to say thanks up front for tuning in and just watching. That's cool. Glad I can be part of your video consumption. I need you to follow if you haven't. I say need. I would like you to, if you're cool with that. Share this around. Engage with me on YouTube or Twitch, anything like that. If you're feeling generous, there's a donate link I've set up, and I also have a Patreon. All of those things would be actually very important for me to get a better idea of what people think and value in these sorts of streams, and they can help me grow things over time. So if you want to be part of that, that would be great. If you don't, that's actually totally fine too. I understand, you know, everyone's doing their own thing, but I appreciate any bit of engagement. And that's all I've got to say. I just hope you have a good day. I'll be on my way. I'll be back tomorrow streaming on Friday, but for now, I'm heading out.